Who's ready for some boom, baby? Boom. Your boy's gonna rise and shine. It's Saints Addiction time. That's right. I'm gonna go for the smoke. Run the green screen and the back screen in the office, printing the dream. And this morning, it's really a thing. So excited! I barely slept last night. I'm gonna go for a smoke. Come with me, and you'll be ooh, in a world of pure imagination. That's what you'll find, even when the sun doesn't really shine. Oh my God, it's my first time outside this morning. I've been up all night making my dreams a reality, and that's why I'm so excited to do the morning motivation this morning. Leg out with me, your voice. And it's now dropping out of a Google Drive right into the sheets, combining two ideas into one, combining a team from all over the world. And now we have a social media poster literally for Dogs on Shirts. All my accounts are now going to get it, but we started with Dogs on Shirts, and it literally dropped just like I posted, about 150 characters, like a Twitter post, with the Instagram, with the hashtags, the way I write hashtags, with the first letter of the word capitalized, so that way you could read it straight across. Well, guess what? It's happening. That's right. To be really excited, to really get started, we're on our way up. This whole team has just been so tremendous for us to be working our way together or making things happen. I don't even know what's going on. This guy's like going backwards or something. I don't know. Are you gonna like run people over? You gotta figure it out. But I've figured it out. Teamwork makes the dream work. It's one of those things where you can go fast, but you can go further with the team. Alone, right? Alone, you're not going very far. Together, we're all gonna make it. What is this guy doing, bro? Let me get away from him in the morning motivation. He's trying to confuse situations, slow rolling in reverse in front of me on my show on the lot. I got life to live, homie, and it ain't with you around. So it's happening. I'm going for my walk. I'm so excited I could barely sleep. And if you're around here about 3 a.m., the sun comes back up in the morning, and it was coming through the window, and I'm just like so excited that right now, as I sleep, it's posting for me. That's right. We now have a social media poster that'll literally drop into each file or Instagram and the Facebook like page not at random, but 5 times a day, with about 15 to 20 hashtags without me having to touch it. I didn't have to blast it with my own hashtags. I didn't have to do all of that shit. I just literally did what my dream included, and I'm so grateful for it. To be able to just like say you're gonna do something and then it happens had me so geeked. I barely slept last night. So I'm running on about 3 hours of sleep. Bear with me, and let's get into it. So sleeping at the print shop, it's my dream to be around the print industry, to learn these machines, to learn how to grow logos and grow businesses and become a dream launcher. This is what I did. So I see you, lady. So that's what it is. Instead of somebody else trying to run me over, I can make my dream a reality. And that's what I chose, bro. I chose my own dream to be in reality. I said, like, hey, how do I reach so many people? And it was just like, you just go out and have all these Instagrams. Well, I don't have time to post at each Instagram. Matter of fact, I haven't posted on the Instagram. Started it 2017, almost 10 years ago. Only have 38 posts. And the last one was from like 2022, right? This is what I'm talking about. We only have so much time in the day. And if we're always to go after things, I love how these trees grow over the streets. If we're always doing these things, posting our lives away or reading someone else's post or using our own time for engagement, then we have little time for other things. It absorbs everything. Like, you won't have enough time to get anything done, including getting excited. So now, when I can go to sleep and know that my videos are dropping and they're getting 15x reviews and getting 15x responses, or that my social media is dropping, again, 5 videos a day, 5 posts a day, it's a tremendous type of asset for somebody. It's tremendous to be able to go into something and say, hey, that idea that I had, it's really real. And all these years, 10 plus years, 15 plus years of chipping away at it, it's finally getting done. And that's where I fucking hold my heart, and I hold my mind, and I hold my head. There's some shine right there, that these things really get done. Those late nights and those early mornings really pay off. And you want to say, nobody's listening to me. I'm just in front of the keyboard, my little manifesto. I just watched the special on your boy Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber, and how he changed the world just by having his plastic pocket challenge, y'all. Everybody's always shocked at me when I pick up trash. I'm like, it's our world. And it's your world. It's your ideas. It's all the things that other people are scared of. That's why I was blessed with these ideas. I call it blessed, but it's like a blessing and a curse, because it'll torture me and make me work long hours and in front of the keyboard and constantly changing things, tweaking these things, so eventually it would happen. I spoke about it yesterday, but it's so true. I spent most of these times and most of these years inside my mind developing this thing that I was like, eventually it'll be that way, you know? And then they would have certain systems like Hootsuite, you know, it would kind of drop a little bit. Not a lot, but it'll drop a little. There we go. We got I Love My Life shine going on. And drop it, you know, charging me $300, $400 a month. It's not exactly what I want. And then it's like, who has the balls to make a system different? And then I think of people like Dana White, you know, who's also watching the same, what was it, Howard Letterman would say the stupidest shit watching the boxing things. I was like, he's so fucking dumb, bro. That's not what's happening. And he got pissed enough to miss the bus. He started his own production company, and that's why UFC is so popular. They fly out all my homies with all the technology to get it done themselves. And that was what was so exciting to me, you know, that I could develop something inside of me and it came out of me, that I could have a big dream and say, hey, I want to travel the world. Here's the Tickerillion shop, but that I could travel the world and have my own business, that I could make up my own mind and make something happen, and that even if it wasn't there yet, you know, what hadn't been developed. And this is how you donate clothes, shoes, glass, everything in Finland. Just because it hasn't been developed doesn't mean it's not possible. And that's what it is. I'm possibles in impossible. And people don't want to see, they only want to see the impossible. They only want to see the hard work. They only want to see the hours disappear. They don't want to see it reappear inside of their imagination. They don't want to see it to appear in real life. They don't want it to make it a real situation. And that's where it changed in my life. More plastic pop, more plastic. There's a trash can right over here. More plastic pocket challenge. So, you know, it's one of those things that I challenged the team and I said, this is what people will need. They don't have time to be, they might do the video and they might take the picture, but they don't have time to fucking go over and post it and then respond to everybody. It just started to tick away. There's the hugs, papery, cartons, packages. Yeah, big old systems, big old bags. So it goes to show, whenever you don't know what's going to happen, or nobody's built it, or it's going to take a lot of work out of me, then it happened and it's all a possibility. I'm shocked by everything transpiring. I was up all night and I was like, you did it, bro. You fucking did it. You're a fucking genius, bro. We got now a poster that'll literally sit there and just drop images right out of my Google Drive, right out of your Google Drive, and post for you with hashtags, with words, no touch, just putting it inside of the folder. Bro, I just became marketing. It was like all my dreams were in front of me. In fact, I even reached out to another homie who says she's got a homie that can get closed accounts back from the dead for me. And I'm like, bro, I need all those like pages. Let's go. So it goes to show, when you're really excited, how far you can launch with real motivation, right? When you're really motivated, there's nothing stopping you. I keep saying that to people. You're getting out hustled by crackheads. You know, you don't have a big enough W, because if it's really what you wanted, like my sugar, like my ice cream, like my candies, like my sex, like my weed, like everything else that I do over and over again. Check this out. I wonder what they're doing. That's what I'm saying, you know? Oh, shit, it was a trash can. Look at this. What's gonna happen? He's gonna flip it? Wait, what? What is it? It's for leaves? What does it do? You dumping it in or you dumping it out? They're cleaning it up. Let's take a look while I smoke. Let's hold tight. I want to see this thing. I think it's going to shake out. It looks like a trash can, but these guys are doing the work. You know what I'm saying? Real work. And that's what it is. Real work developed into real thought. Everything that is around you was created by someone else in their mind. And you just didn't want to extend your mind. You wanted to numb it. And I'm so grateful that I got sober. And so grateful that I given up all the drugs and transformed my life so that way I can see things with my real eyes instead of realizing the real lies that I was telling myself. The negative thoughts, the automatic negative thoughts, killing the ants, the I don't have any money, nobody likes me, everybody hates me, guess I'll go eat worms. Big fat chewy ones, little bitty squishy ones, yes, I'll go eat worms. I think they get smelled by weed. I just want to see this thing get hauled off. I've never seen a bulldozer with a catcher before, and I thought it was going to flip over, but maybe it's just a trash can and then they'll just throw it away. I'm not quite sure, but I love watching technology. I love watching hard work, and I love watching work pay off, and that's what this is. It's hard work paying off. It was a dream. It was just literally floating in my head, and I'm like, well, you know, if I get dogs on shirts, then I got to get cats on shirts, right? You know what I mean? And if I have cats on shirts, then people definitely love movies on shirts and lyrics on shirts, and then it became poetry on shirts, and then it became sugar skulls on shirts, and then it became skulls on shirts, and it became so many different things that people were like, why can't you just do everything on shirts? And I was like, people don't want everything. They want specific things. The specific things that they care about. And that's the only thing that they want to talk about. They don't want to talk about dogs if they care about cats. And they don't want to talk about cats or dogs if they want to talk about movies. It's just one of those things that in our world, we can develop things from inside out. Like, you want to have the positivity, start telling yourself positive things. Start going with positive walks. Start giving yourself the affirmations that it takes to be the believer before you're the seer. Before things start really appearing in front of you, which we all want to do. How do you get out of here? Oh, it's cool. It's unlocked. Perfect. And that's what you're going to want. You're going to want to have a brain that transpires ideas and inspires reactions. I knew it was closed off over there, but that's what life's about. It's about taking your tumultuous, emotional, hot garbage that we all have, the incapacity, linear brain. We all have linear brains. Oh my God, the sun is shining. Yes, bless. That we can't even see grow. So they were saying something to the effect of, oh, look at all the kids. This is what it was like in Finland. Safe, happy, and sunshiny. And they all got their little vest. Imagine for you, if you will, it was Neil deGrasse Tyson. Neil deGrasse Tyson was saying something to the effect of, if the algae grew over half, if it doubled every day to go over a lake, this dude's all staring at me, you know, how long would it take, you know, for you to come back if it's doubling every month, you know, the algae on the lake? Well, when it was half, how long would it take the next one? Well, he told them that it would be double, but in our minds, we still don't know. We don't equate the journey of pain with the pleasure. We only source things that'll give us pleasure immediately. We're about gratification, and instant gratification at that. It's one of those things, it's one of those tracks that all of us, all of our little monkey minds abide by. We're looking for sources that make us happy right meow. We can't see the doubling effect, and therefore we're not complex. It's very linear thinking. It's just like, oh, because I was hurt in the past, then I'm going to be hurt in the future. Because I had a broken heart, it's like saying, It's like saying, because I broke up with my first girlfriend, I'll never get a girlfriend again. You can't dictate the first experience as the last experience, but that's what we do. We linear connect everything. We're like, well, that's the way it must be. It's got to be that way. It's the only way that I can see it. And I'm like, no, it doesn't have to be that way. Nice ass. And I'm like, we can make it the way we want to make it. We don't have to be shaped by government. We don't have to be shaped by opinions. We don't have to be shaped by our fears. But that's usually how it ends up happening. Groupthink happens. You end up following your peers. They're non-believers. I just love this house. It's like being in Thailand or something. It reminds me of Brazil. But in our minds, we're connecting dots instead of building buildings, right? We're connecting little shapes and saying that this is the circumference of my life instead of actually circumferencing the globe. It was a conversation I had with a flat earther, and that flat earther was on some the world is flat. And I was like, you know what, bro? Since I'm the one that went around it, it's so beautiful. So beautiful. Since I'm the one that went around it, right, I get to say that it's around, right? Instead of somebody that's never traveled at all trying to tell me that the world is flat. And I'm like, bro, you've never been on top of Machu Picchu. You've never seen the high Andes and to see the world kind of curved because you're that high up. Then I even threw in the Red Bull jumper, I don't know what to call him, the guy that jumped from like 75,000 feet elevation out of the NASA capsule and shit. Guess what? The world kind of curved too. But you give it to other people and their linear thinking will get them only in a straight line. Instead of building it all the way out and drawing the full picture, right, over a whole perspective plane, right, all the way perspective, we'll just do the A to B, everything's flat. But what if you tilt your perspective? Now, the point is right here. The pinnacle point, the focal point, your focus point shifts constantly. And that's what he was trying to explain to people, is that our linear thinking only gets so far. Till we start thinking dynamically and dreaming, then we can start exercising our imagination, which is our most powerful tool on the planet. It really kind of separates us from the monkeys. They can be using tools, but can they create tools? And can you use the tool of AI to create your dreams? And that my dream just got created in front of me. I couldn't even sleep. I was just like, oh my God, so many thoughts were coming out. I'm like, what are the next ones I'm going to start linking? After dogs on shirts, it's got to be cats on shirts. After cats on shirts, it's got to be movies on shirts. After movies on shirts, it's got to be lyrics on shirts. And all these pages and all these ideas that have been going on for over 10 years actually are going to happen. I got to pluck this flower. It's so beautiful. This one and only. You're coming with me right from between the weeds. Isn't that beautiful? It's amazing. Life is amazing when you start giving yourself, there's a garbage can, I'll go around him. But life is amazing when you let it open up your perspective. You got to open up your oculus and see things in a different light. Right now, you probably don't see yourself at all. When they're looking at your boy, Ted Kaczynski, they were using him for MK Ultra. They were doing LSD tests on the Harvard kids and seeing what they were made out of and what they had to fix. Just like surrounded by people that want to follow me. Either it's a trash can or a guy lifting things. I just want to be free from mental slavery. I wanted to be free from the things that drugged me down. And these ideas, like I was saying with Ted Kaczynski, you know, being tested on people, hating the technology, or calling them what did he call them? Technophiles or something, and how technology was going to ruin the future of everyone. Well, you better embrace it. I'm here to say it, bro. You better embrace change. You better embrace and drive change, actually, is what they say in tribal leadership. And because I wasn't afraid of change, and because I believed that one day this system would be built, and yesterday, or I guess fully today, if you're in Vegas time, in the last 12 hours, couldn't even sleep. The dream became real to me, that all these ideas, finally, all this hard work, I don't have to stay up at nights sweating the small stuff for it to happen. Hello. Look at me. I love it. You know, and there's another car. It's like there's something everywhere. So I can't get away from people. You got to go with people not through people. And that's what I learned. I learned that all dreams can become reality. Visions are just that. They're premonitions. I love this house. And your reality will be dictated by your perspective. And that's the hardest thing to switch, because perception and perspective aren't exactly the same thing. We usually have a perception of the world, and like, this is the way the world is. They wouldn't do something like MK Ultra, you know what I mean? They wouldn't put LSD in the Harvard students, would they? You know, what was the other one that they did? What was it called? Operation Paperclip? Bro, don't get me started. And I'm not even a conspiracy theorist. There's all the people of the world. I'm a realist. And in my real reality, I believe that not AI was going to come save the day, but that there would be a system to post on social media. I couldn't be the only one that didn't want to be stayed on their phone, but wanted to participate, wanted to punch their dit in the world and actually fuck up the algorithm. I couldn't be, and I wasn't. And turns out I built a team that just built the system for me. And now we're doing social media posts, media in a sec. I guess it's social in a sec, site in a sec. Literally in 22 seconds, it made this post, generating, thinking about it, came up with the words and the hashtag, and posted it to my Facebook like page and my Instagram. You can go to Dogs on Shirts and see the last 2 posts, or maybe 3 posts, because I've been sleeping and it's working while I sleep. Everybody wants to make money while they sleep, but they don't want to do the training. Thanks, Sunshine. I appreciate that. We don't want to alter our vision. We don't want to have examination. We don't want to question authority. And I'm thinking, that's all I ever did. Someone told me I couldn't. I did it anyway. Not to prove them wrong, but to prove to myself that I was right, that my visions were right, and they were tight, and they did make sense. So gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So you can choose right or you can choose peace. It's really up to you. I highly suggest you choose experimenting, because only then will you prove what you can prove. I was also watching the first UFC 1, 2, and 3, the Ultimate Fighter Championship, before Dana White bought it. And no weight classes, eye gouging, couch kicking, the whole worst part of it. But they said, how else are you going to know? How else are you going to know who the best fighter is unless you compete? There's only one way to find out. And that's what I liked about what Hoist Gracie was saying, was like, there is only one way to find out, and that's trial and error. And most people are afraid of the error part. They're afraid of making an error and looking foolish to the crowd, or being embarrassed by instead of being the same. You got to be willing to stick out. You know what I'm saying? You got to be willing to look foolish to the crowd. And I know you know what I mean. Most people are too scared. Most people are peacocking. They just want to get the attention, but they don't know what to do with the attention. I was on a mission. I already knew that eventually all these dreams, all these lives, we're going to do one thing. Look, he jumped over it. There, see, I told you they're carrying the trash out with that big old crane. That's insane. So it is a hauler. It's like it's hauling the trash out. Yep, we're right on time. Told you. What a cool life. What a cool life. Just to see how other people handle their debris and everything. Look at it, dude. We're getting the VIP. Go, go, go. That is so cool. That is too dope. I have to ask him a question. When you were doing that earlier, right? Do you turn it upside down and shake it? Is that what it is? Yeah. You see? Yeah, I thought so. So I think it takes the whole thing and just shakes it out off the top, bro. That is so fucking dope. So then he can just shake it. I thought it was just trash. Keep those, keep those. Look, dude, you're getting the full experience. He was showing it off, bro. What a fucking cool life. While I got my flower in my hair, while I'm smoking my joint, while I'm walking with the freshness of air and sunshine on my skin. This was my vision. And it took years. They say it's going to take 5 years to develop a business, maybe 10, maybe 15. It's developing me. That's what it was doing. The whole time it was making me stronger with rejection, making me not panic as much when things fall apart, and also keeping me experimental to be like, I don't know what next place I'll be. I don't know what next country I'm going to go to. I don't know which next bed I'm going to sleep in. Most people would make that their priority. But like I was watching Ted Kaczynski, he's living in a fucking Montana fucking cabin that he built himself. No electricity and no phones. Here you are off the grid. So you can make the whole world shake from a shack. You can imagine it, and then it become in your hands. And you can be whatever you want to be as long as you're able to dream. And they called me a daydreamer. Some may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. Dancing in the street with the sunshine. What a blessing it is to be alive. That's my freestyle. So, and the world would live as one. You know what I mean? For better life, for problem solving, for time saving, for dream giving. This is what Saints Addiction's all about. This is what I'm all about. My addiction to my life instead of the drugs. My addiction to my dream instead of the blurry. My addiction to growing instead of burying. And I all know you know what I mean. So it's just one of them. You know, I knew it was going to come out of me, and started hatching in South Korean prison. And I was like, oh, you're going to arrest me over 3 grams of weed for 5 years of my life? Watch what I'm going to do in my 5 years. And this is what ended up happening. Traveling the world. Speaking different languages, having sex with different women from different countries, exploring different opportunities, and growing my whole business this whole time. It's the only one that's been providing me my ideas. Print an hour, turned it into sec.ai. Right, so I went from print to AI. I went from hour to in a sec. And then I went from dreamer to reality. And that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that switch inside yourself where sleep don't even matter anymore. You want it so bad. I forget to brush my teeth sometimes, bro. And I'm not talking in the good way, but like I'm in another home or I'm in another destination. I just fucking straight up fucking don't have the time, don't have the sync, and just kept pushing. Well, come on, baby. Let the good times roll. There it is. Perfect. And just like that, bro, with flowers in my hair, I turned my whole life around, dude. So this message has always been for those that have depression, can't find the motivation, can't seem the way to get away from sounds. That's also it. But it was also that I watched my dream come true last night. I'm looking myself in the eye. I almost started to cry. It was just like so intense that this is all I needed. You know, I needed my socials to drop. I needed my videos to drop. I needed my phone calls to be picked up. And we're working on apps, and the site's new version of it's almost done. So in seconds, bro, these dreams that I thought were farts of an idea, I kept putting money on the domain names, doubling down, you know, all on black. Let's go, double zero. And then guess what? One day it'll hit. One day it'll hit. Then what will they say? They will say that I was a dreamer, and that every class that I went to since I was in 2nd grade said that Mark Saint's a daydreamer. And that's the truth. I dared to dream, and that has made all the difference. So if you want to be on the way up, you know, you're going to have to be prepared to climb. And after you've fallen, and after you flew, and you fell, it's time to rise. And that's what this morning marijuana motivation's all about. So rise and shine. It's your morning motivation time. On my heart from the stars, your boy Marky Saint. Peace and love. And as always, Shigathon. That means goodbye, but not forever. In the middle of traffic, getting away from all these people. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So much energy. They want some more. Even the bug tried to get in the shot. I'm out. This is going to have a blessed day. Go check out intersect.ai. There's a free demo for you today. Bye. Yup. Social media post. Yep. Site and sex. Social and sex.